Next up in our World Cup Champs Week on the pot is Miss Carli Lloyd. For those of you who don't know who Carli Lloyd is, she is a two-time World Cup champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, two-time FIFA World Player of the Year. Not as like, oh, a good player. You are the best player voted by FIFA in the entire world twice. That is Carli Lloyd. And she was so kind as to spend a good hour and a bit with us during the last game, right before the last game of their victory tour in Chicago. So get comfortable listening. Okay, Carli, what we always do, first thing off, because I used to do it with my camera back in the day, I would say to a player, set the scene for me. So it gives me
set the bathroom scene?
Pleasure for you to set the bathroom scene.
Well, you guys are technically in the bathroom. I am not. I have maybe one foot on the threshold, so I'm clear of that. But yeah, this is a first for me. Mm-hmm.
That's a first for you.
First in a bathroom. Yeah, I've done a voiceover before in a sauna.
Yeah,
but or a steam room. I think it was a steam room. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I've never done that actually.
So we should try that maybe next.
Where did you voice your book? I voiced my entire book in my closet.
I think I did that in the studio. Okay. I think it was only the forward I did or something. It wasn't the whole thing. Thank gosh.
Yeah, because it's hard. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll totally do it. They're like, are you sure? I was like, yeah.
No.
Oh no, there were tears. It takes a lot.
How long did it take you?
It takes a lot to get me to cry.
Well, tell Carli why there were tears.
Oh my God, Carli, I don't know if I can go through it again.
I remember because you...
I know. That's what I'm saying. So on my microphone, it plugs into my computer, and it's a really good microphone. But for some reason, like the app crashed or the program crashed. So when I booted it back up again, it didn't read my microphone in the computer. And this was like the last 10 chapters of my, no, not 10, last 5 chapters of my book. And before that, I had checked after every chapter I'd sent in, I'd check to make sure the audio sounded right. And then I'd send it in, right? Well, I got in the rhythm by the end. I was like, oh, okay, it sounds fine. I'm like, I don't want to check. Hours. 5 chapters. I go to check it at the end after, and it's like I'm in a tunnel. It's not plugged in. It's like it's just taking audio off your computer, not a mic. And I'm like, wait, that's weird. And I go to the next chapter. I was like, oh God, no. And then I go to the next. This is the 3rd day of me for 10 hours a day.
I would have thrown my computer, I think.
Oh no, my husband, I was again in the master closet because they want the padding of the walls, right, with the clothes. And I was like, no! And he was downstairs. He was like, what happened?
So none of it recorded.
Tears. None of it recorded.
Oh my. I've always wondered that even in just shoots and commercials. I'm like, make sure you push that record button. It's like.
Well, that had never happened where it just didn't recognize my mic when it rebooted. So
terrible.
Lesson
terrible.
learned.
Let's hopefully this is recording, right? Double check this. Mics are working.
Pod on the pod. Let's hope so.
We're in a bathroom, so who knows if this is going to record. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so we're here with future NFL kicking star Carli Lloyd.
At least I have a plan B, right?
Who knew that soccer was just going to be your stepping stone, really, to your football career?
So funny. I think I've gotten more media coverage than playing my entire career for this team. Crazy.
That was a lot.
It's fun. I actually love hitting field goals. It's so fun to me.
I mean, you just casually stroked that 55-yarder too.
Yeah, it's just it's sort of like kicking a ball. I mean, it's just a little bit different technique, obviously leaning back a little bit more, but yeah, I had fun and I'm super competitive. So it started at 25 yards. I'm like, no, let's keep backing up.
You did? I didn't know that.
Well, and the thing is, that's not the first time you had done it because I've seen videos of you doing it. Mm-hmm. So can you give us the backstory of you starting to kick field goals at these NFL stadiums?
The first one happened at after 2015 World Cup when I was on Hard Knocks with the Texans. So I was playing in Houston for the Dash, and they invited me out, and I was kicking against Vince Wilfork, which was hilarious because I'm like, this dude can't kick, and he was actually pretty good. But I think that was like a 35 yarder. So I did that. I tried for, I think, a little bit longer one, but it didn't seem like they wanted me out there too long. So I was like, okay.
Like, I'm not going to push it.
All right. And then we did it. We trained in Dallas Cowboys indoor facility for one of our games. I think it was actually during qualifying. And I hit one there. BJ Snow actually was the placeholder on that one.
One of the assistant coaches.
I think somebody, I don't know if it was Graham who snapped it too. I don't remember.
Classic. And how long was that one?
That was probably about a 50 yarder, 45, 50 yarder.
Okay.
And then,
So
yeah.
you're like, that's nothing.
Eagles training, I was like, sure, I'll come out. I had a relationship with somebody from the Eagles, so they invited me out. And then I actually knew the kicking coach at the Ravens. So it was like all worlds were colliding. The kicking coach of the Ravens has been wanting me to get down to Baltimore at some point to kick with Justin Tucker, and I just haven't been able to do it. He's actually been a former mayor a couple towns over from me for 12 years.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so
Small worlds.
I was like, yeah, this is great, and brought my boots, and I think the Eagles guy was kind of like, I don't think you're going to be able to get on the field, and I'm like, yeah, well, I don't think he knew my connection. And then I just started hitting him. Didn't warm up.
I'm Carli. Thanks.
Just went for it. Started at 25. I'm like, let's keep moving back. Let's keep going. And it was in the narrow uprights. So it was 9 feet wide.
What's the difference?
So I guess some fields have smaller, like just us shooting on a smaller goal to make it better.
Narrow, so it wasn't like regulation?
No,
like
but
they
I
get
think
in real NFL?
For practicing purposes. So I actually hit a 57 yard, but it wasn't the width of the. It would have hit in a real, 18-foot upright. So yeah, it was fun.
And was that even a stretch?
I had probably 10 yards even on that one.
Wow. Really? So you could do this.
I'm entertaining it.
Put on 150 pounds. You better bulk up. You need some donuts, is what you need.
Yeah, I need about 10 donuts a day, I think. No, I'm going to give it
entertaining it.
I am, yeah. But I want to try it. I want to put a helmet on. I want to put pads on. I want to do, kick with 2 steps and then see from there. But first and foremost, I want to play soccer for as long as I can.
So get through the Olympics.
That would be ideal.
and then maybe entertain it?
I mean,
or do you want to keep playing soccer?
I definitely have a couple years in me for sure, but maybe you could just get loaned out a little bit for a couple preseason NFL games.
Okay, but what about those like 300-pound big boys that come at you? Does that personally freaks the hell out of me? Maybe I'm just a little bit soft. I don't know, Carli, but I'm like, oh my God.
It would.
Those boys are huge.
They're huge. I'd probably just run the other way.
I would just hit the ground.
I don't think I'd want to risk getting hurt. So I'd be like, okay, see ya.
Do it.
Yeah, why not? It's first for everything, right?
Right.
Was it just crazy to see the response that it got?
Unbelievable. Like, I went with my husband. I went with my with James's younger son, who actually nailed one too. I think his was like 30 yarder or something. And we get in the car, and all of a sudden, it's like, phone is blowing up like completely.
Oh, as
and
soon
then
as it posted?
It's an hour later, and I was like, what's going on here? And then, I was getting calls from people like, you should really consider this. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I just literally went out for a fun day, casual day, and just was having some fun, kicking some field goals.
Did you actually get offers or just like interest?
No, I did. 2 teams. They wanted me to play in the preseason game, but we had a game in Philly that same night. So,
can you disclose who those 2 teams are?
Oh, nah.
Because I could guess. No, I'm not
keeping it suspenseful.
Keeping it real. Before we talk this World Cup, let's rewind a little bit, because especially for like the non-soccer listeners, we get a lot of non-soccer listeners, which I love. And to put what you've done into context, right? And how you got so good. And my favorite stat is in your 30s, you've doubled your scoring rate, which is insane when you think about it. Doubled your scoring rate.
You didn't double yours?
Yeah, no, didn't. That would be like 2. I scored 1 in my 20s, 2 in my 30s.
Well, you were more defensive-ish, right?
Not really.
Holding me
just couldn't score. Thanks for that, though. That was really nice. Love you for that. So take us back to when this all started to take off. You're not, because you're always good, but there was a point where you were like, I need to step it up.
I think, I was never really the player, coming out of a big name college and, the next one kind of on the radar. But I just, I came out with a mission to just do my job to the best of my ability. Obviously I had to grow as a person and a player, and I think I've matured tremendously, and, probably was a pain in the butt at times back in the day. But I've just wanted one thing, and that is to just to continue to be the best that I can be every single day. And, I think when I first got on the team, I had to kind of learn what it takes to get to the top. And then I had to learn what it takes to stay at the top. Mm-hmm. And, nothing is ever going to come easy to anyone, really. In order to climb that mountain year after year, you've got to work hard, twice as hard every single year. And so for me, it was about kind of getting that belief. It took me a while to actually believe that I could, go on to become great. And I think once I started to sort of have that belief, and obviously the training was helping as well, it just kind of injected that confidence in me a little bit. But it took me, from 2005 getting on the team, probably until 2012 Olympics is when I really started to believe I could become something bigger. And I think, that belief in myself mixed with the training regimen that I have and just the discipline to want to just become better, I think that's kind of what transpired me. But, I had a lot of growth that I needed to do, from just a person to a player. And I think in the beginning, I needed to learn how to freaking get box to box as a midfielder.
Which
college
getting like from one penalty box to the other penalty box,
running. And I kind of like the way that it's kind of worked out, because I almost had to do the harder things per se in the beginning of my career and just get that discipline. And then, once you get older, I've moved closer up to the field, which is awesome. So it's like, a little bit less running.
How did you understand that you needed to get better though? What convinced you that this isn't good enough?
I think, growing up, I want to say from when I was younger, when I first started playing at age 5 to age 23, my college years, I'm a totally different player than I was then as opposed to now. And I think we can all say that we've changed as people, and, there's growth. But for me, I was someone who relied on talent. I, pointed the finger at others if I didn't make teams, or if I, didn't necessarily have a good game. I blamed, my teammates. I just never took responsibility with my own play. And I just didn't know how to work hard. I didn't have anyone really showing me that, you have to work hard every single day. You can't take days off. You can't just decide one day you're going to give 100% and then another day you're going to give 70%. And so once I got to the under 21 national team, you can't do that because there's the best players in the whole entire country. And, I wasn't really a prominent player on that team, and I didn't start all the time. I didn't play a lot. And then when I finally got cut, it was a huge turning point for me as a person. I went from someone who needed to rely on people, to someone who started this path and this journey of meeting an awesome mentor and coach, James Galanis. And, he kind of took me under his wing, basically just told me, if you turn your weaknesses into strengths, you can go on to become the best player in the world. And that's all I needed. I just needed someone to navigate me through. I was willing to do everything possible. If he told me to jump off a mountain, I probably would jump off a mountain if that meant it was going to make me better. So I went from having to learn that as a kid to totally transitioning into somebody that I really never was. And I continued to just work hard every single day at all the things that I wasn't good at.
But he had a pretty disciplined, strategic approach to that, right?
Yes.
Can you give some context on that too? Because the first time I heard the story, I was like, oh my God, that's fascinating.
Yeah, so I met him in 2003. He was actually training my brother's soccer team at the time, and he was regarded in our area as one of the best trainers. And he had this club team, Medford Strikers club team. He coached these girls all the way up until they went to college, and they were one of the top 5 teams in the country. And he didn't have an individual player that he could really build, not from scratch, but pretty much with me, on his resume. So through his path and his journey of doing karate, and his karate instructor not charging him anything because his parents couldn't afford to send him there, his karate instructor told him, just come every session. You don't have to pay. James played pro soccer as well. So he kind of just knew what it was about, and kind of learned through all of his experiences, and then was paying it forward to me. And when my dad reached out to him to have me train me, he said, look, I'm not going to charge you or your parents a single dime. The only thing I ask of you is that, when you become the best player in the world, you just share your story. And that's how it's been for almost 15 years now. But he's unbelievable. He's crazy. I mean, he had this vision, and he had this plan.
And he's crazy.
Yeah, he had this plan that I probably still don't even know. He's still planning. He's still putting things in my mind, and chipping away at just making me mentally stronger and better. But he had this plan, this 12-year plan, 3 phases of what each phase was going to look like. And the first phase was basically tricking me into thinking that I was this fit player and so good. And, he's like, yeah, Carli, just keep going. Meanwhile, he's like, you got to lose probably 10 pounds. You got to eat better. And,
lay
once
off the donuts.
Yeah, no donuts. Once 2012 happened, which was, phase 2 of it. That's when I started to really, really believe. But he's envisioned this entire
phase
process.
1 was getting fitter and giving you the confidence to think you could.
Yeah, phase 1 was reteaching me what it takes to become a professional soccer player.
Okay.
All the habits, the eating, the stretching, the mindset, the training regimen. And that was, 2007 World Cup.
Never had that phase 1 in your life? Yeah. Finger pointing back at me. This is why I was never 2-time FIFA World Player of the Year and had 2 goals in my 30s.
This might be a good time to actually share with people where your donut addiction came from.
I know.
Tell that story.
Every day before I would go play soccer, I'd go get a big cinnamon roll.
Really?
Before soccer games. That was my
I mean, I love Cinnabon too, and I eventually had to cut that off.
No. I did too. When I read the back of a Cinnabon once, I actually cut Cinnabons off. I'm so proud of myself for that. I'm going to take credit.
Probably 1,000 calories.
But that's why I love donuts, because there's no calories on the back. There's nothing.
Really?
There's no. I don't know how many there are. I feel like they're fat free.
True. There's no index.
There's no breakdown. But Cinnabon, it's right on the box. I was like, that's bad.
Yeah. Wasn't it when you were a youth soccer player, there was a donut connection?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Every youth soccer game, we would stop to. That was our pre-game meal.
Right.
Duh. Big cinnamon roll, which is a donut.
Annie Ann's.
Okay, so phase 1. Okay, phase 2 was after the 2012. What was phase 2?
Yeah, so phase 1, 2007 World Cup, 2008 Olympics.
Okay.
Boom, that's done. Phase 2 was 2011 World Cup, 2012.
Okay, almost a World Cup and a gold medal.
Yeah.
Lost in the final in the World Cup, won 2012 on your goal. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, phase 3 was, the next cycle was 2015, 2016. And we were in the beginning.
What was phase 2? What was the mental approach to phase 2? Or was it just a timing?
Well, phase 2 was to cement my spot in being, one of the, impact players on the team was really, phase 1 was kind of, tricking myself into thinking I'm, good and I belong. And then phase 2 was kind of transitioning into, no, you belong. You have to play like you belong. And again, it was just still chipping away at all my weaknesses and continuously getting better. And,
but being like a key cog in it.
A key cog. Yes, for sure.
And then phase 3 was
to be the greatest.
And what did you say when he said that to you?
Well, I didn't believe, honestly, I didn't believe really all of it up until like 2015 happened. I mean, 2012, I was like, okay, this is possible. But like 2015, I was like, wow, okay, cool.
Oh, and then I'll just go score 3 goals in 16 minutes in the World Cup final.
But
is that what you were talking about, James? Thanks.
It's just been this evolution. I mean, I was actually speaking to him the other night, and, you know, he's most proud of who I've become. It's not the FIFA World Player of the Years, the championships, the, you know, all the stats and amazing accolades and stuff. It's the person I've become, because his whole goal from the beginning was to empower me to do this journey on my own, because I was a person and a player who relied so heavily on my parents or, you know, just people kind of pushing me along. And his whole goal was to do that. And he said to me the other day, he said, you know, you don't realize the magnitude of how much I got inside your head all these years, like to either convince you to keep going, convince you that you're, you know, fit in 2008. And when I look at myself, I'm like, oh, I was definitely not fit. But he's just the mental aspect of what he's done to kind of get into my mind and keep pushing me forward has paid off tremendously.
And is there a phase 4?
Well, yeah, so I guess he wasn't sure of how long I would go and if I would take everything he, you know, was saying to me seriously. And then I remember after 2012, I said, there's no way I want to be done after 2016 Olympics. And that's when we said, okay, phase 4 is, you know, the goal is to become the greatest ever. And, you know, you're going to have to, your body may slow down with age. We don't know how it's going to react, but your mind has to speed up. And so now this phase 4 has been a total tactical change. I've become a better thinker. I've become a better footballer. I run less. I run smart. I'm efficient. And everything that I had done up to this point, recovery strategies, living and breathing, the game, not eating donuts every day, has allowed me to to still be playing, you know, at 37, and then, you know, also becoming a sniper in and around the box. That's been a goal as well. So it's just, there's just, every time I go home, it's like, all right, we got to work on this, we got to work on that. I'm like, all right, sure. So
when you go home, how many days a week do you guys still train together?
The off season is really where I build myself. Yeah. We work on everything. You know, James watches games. He stores things in his mind of what we need to work on, and he's continuously coming up with all these different drills. I mean, these aren't drills that he's like going on YouTube and saying, "Oh, I can do that." No, he's fascinating. He can just come up with things in his mind. And, you know, everything that I do on the field, my header the other day, sky blue, that's me tossing a ball off a rebounder and just working the technique. You know, everything that I do is a reflection of what I've done. On. Yeah. And, so we train. It just depends. Sometimes I go do stuff on my own. Sometimes, you know, we catch up. I train with his older son's team. They're like a U18 boys team, so that's a really good age for me to get in and train with them. And it's just, you know, around the clock.
Do you take a break?
I do.
Do you sleep?
I do.
Cut her legs off. I think there's wires coming out of it. She's a robot.
I've learned the balance of things in life the older I've gotten. Breaks are very important. And I think there are certain times maybe where I should have taken a break, should have listened to my body a little bit more. And, you know, I may have maybe overdone it, you know, nothing crazy, but then it's like, okay, I need 3 days off, you know, just to kind of recharge. But now we've been really managing my body. I'm not killing it every single day. I've spent a ton. And I remember James telling me this after 2015 World Cup, that if I'm going to play this next phase, my core and my upper body needs to just be, I've got to shred it. And that has been super, super helpful in me being able to be explosive and, you know, turn and you know, just be successful at this age.
How have you shredded your upper body
I
and your core?
knew Lynn was going to ask that. I was like, Lynn was going to ask this. I'm going to let her follow up.
Just body weight stuff, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, but not, I've learned that just
Lynn,
the normal.
show her your shoulders.
I've had a shoulder evolution myself.
Really?
And I have pictures that I
shows
sometimes
me
show people that I'm very proud of.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll have to do a workout together.
Yeah. And that's
Oh, no, Lynn will remember that, and you are done. Hey, Carly, remember? Hey, Carly, remember?
This is
Remember one day at band camp? You told me we would work out together.
I had this conversation with Michaela Schifrin too, and I joked with her I could have talked with her the entire time because she can shred pull-ups. And so do you do pull-ups?
Yeah, pull-ups, push-ups, just everything. I mean, but not like the standard abs. Like, I just feel like they don't do anything, but it's those ones where you're hanging and you're just lifting your feet up. It's the ones that get like really, really deep. It's been night and day, huge for me. So,
and you started those after 2015?
I mean, I've always been doing them, but I've gone to another level for this phase just because I know that I'm getting older, and in order to be able to play at this level, my core and everything just needed to be, really, really strong. And
I'm getting a pull-up bar at my house.
I'm
going to put it in. I'm going to start hanging.
How many can you do?
I wonder if I can get rid of these
pull-ups. I mean, 8 maybe. They're still hard. Pull-ups are hard.
Pull-ups are hard.
So I'm saying
Thank you.
8's really
Hard.
good. I'm up to 4.
But if you don't do them for a while, then it's like hard to. You got to really do them.
You have to do them all the time. I could do 10. By the way, I don't mean to brag, but I could do 10.
But it's not the amount per se. It's just chipping away little by little, like every day, just doing something. It's not like I've got to bust out 500 pull-ups because I wouldn't be able to do that. But it's just, little by little. It's just getting things here and there.
Okay, so you score the 3 goals in the final of the World Cup. You win 2 FIFA World Player of the Year awards back to back. And then let's fast forward to this World Cup, because I know that's a hard transition, right? Mm-hmm. You have all the success at 2015, and then you come into this World Cup knowing that your role has changed, but obviously have a run before the World Cup starts where you're scoring. How many goals did you score right before the World Cup?
I don't even know.
I remember every game we'd be like, another 3 for Carli, another 2. Oh, goodness, she's going to have to start. So you come into this World Cup with a different role. And you're wanting to play and you're wanting to contribute, but you're now coming off the bench. What was that like? How hard was that?
It's hard. Yeah, it wasn't. These last 3 years have, to be quite blunt, they've been the worst 3 years of my entire career. And, I got hurt in 2017 with the Houston Dash. I sprained my ankle really, really bad. I was out for about 10 weeks. Missed a camp. I believe it was a game against New Zealand. That's when the team had switched to a 4-3-3. At that point, I came back and sort of saw the writing on the wall a little bit, and felt like from that point on, I never really had a chance. Like I was written off. No matter how well I played in training, no matter how well I played in the game, it was like, you're on the bench and you just need to accept it. And for me, I'm never going to accept that, especially when I know what I'm capable of. Mm-hmm. And I can't say that, I was playing amazing, prior to that, or, I think me as a player, I always kind of go through these little phases of soaking up information, processing it. And then, sometimes it just takes a while. Sometimes you're kind of in that, quicksand a little bit. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's like I kind of have to go through that process a little bit in order to come out, 10 times higher on the other end. And I think that's where I sort of was. I was trying to reinvent myself, trying to become a better player, trying to become a better thinker. And you essentially kind of go through learning curve a little bit, and you maybe take a couple steps backwards in order to go forward. So that's where I was at. And I came back and, I was playing midfield, and then it was like, all right, you're not good enough to play in the middle, and we're going to put you up top. And then it's like, okay, well, now we have something to work on. So, James and I got to work when I was home every single time. Became, a sniper around the box by rep after rep after rep of shooting. Became better at my back to goal, runs in behind the back line, just everything. And I knew that I was going to give it my all, no matter what, all the way till the end. So I could walk off proud knowing that I had no regrets, and I was going to do anything possible. And every single chance and opportunity I got, I was going to do everything in my power to help the team. There's no denying it. I deserved to be out on that field, that whole World Cup, but I wasn't. And I think I've grown as a person, as a player. It sucked. It absolutely sucked.
Yeah. How do you deal with that when you're in the middle of it? Because you also realize, as one of the leaders of the team, that I want to be out there, but I also have to stay within, the boundaries of pushing that, I would imagine. And so how do you deal with that? Did you have conversations with Jill? What did you do?
Yeah, I mean, I had loads of conversations with Jill. For me, it's about just being honest. There's a difference of me not being able to do it versus me being able to do it. And ever since I came back from my injury and just my career in general, I've continued to just climb this ladder and continued to get better. I mean, if you think that there's a threshold with how good you can become, then you're never going to be successful. For me, there's no threshold. Like, I can become a better friend, a better wife, a better teammate, a better leader, a better soccer player, just a better everything. And that's just the mindset that I've always had. And I had conversations with her. And, I remember having one in particular where, she told me, I've done it all. You've done it all. You've nothing left to prove. And I said, I have a lot to prove. I'm going to prove till the day I'm done playing that I can be the best that I can be. So it was hard. I mean, I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat it. It was absolutely the worst time in my life. It affected my relationship with my husband, with friends. It really was the rock bottom of my entire career. But somehow you see light at the end of the tunnel, and I can honestly say I'm having more fun now playing than I ever have in my career. And I think I just learned a lot throughout it.
What period are you talking about specifically?
2017 to 2019.
Like through the World Cup even?
Yeah. I think what helped me the most were my teammates. My teammates, they had my back. They saw me every single day in training. They saw all the hard work that I was putting in. They saw how well I was playing. And that kept me going. Yeah, that was cool. And I appreciate all of that.
Are you afraid that you're going to rub people the wrong way by saying things? I know you said something during the World Cup even. Does that enter your mind at all?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. I mean, there's Jill and I, we got along all through it. It wasn't, like there was all this chatter and all this distraction that was going on. I mean, I was completely honest with her to her face. What she was hearing in the media was what I was telling her anyway. So it was really, no surprise. But I'm just stating a fact. I mean, I know that this was the best version of me. The version of me right now is the best that's ever been in my career. And, I mean, there's definitely a fine line, but I think that I wanted to do everything possible to be a great teammate, a great leader. And that was the most important thing to me. It was not, it wasn't this thing of me wanting to be on the field because, I had to be out on the field for individual reasons. No, I wanted to win. I mean, that's all ultimately I wanted to do.
So when you did win, did you go, oh, okay, that makes things better? Because we as a group, to your point, collectively won.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was great. And everybody had a little bit of a different journey to get to that point. But it was a burning fire inside of me as to just how that journey went. You envision something going a little bit differently. And I thought, honestly, my time would come where I could earn a spot back and where I could prove to the coaching staff. And that time never came. But I look back, I have absolutely no regrets. Every single minute I played at that World Cup, I played to the best of my ability. I did everything possible to help the team. And I'm still here. So I don't know what the future is going to hold, and I'm in a good place.
And for young kids to hear just what goes into that journey, I think is so important, because I think there is such a misconception. I remember this when we were playing or someone like a Michelle Akers, or, someone who's had such great success. They don't understand the hours that have gone in and the intention behind it, that it's not just, I showed up and I was great. And life is good and it's easy. It's like, no, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard.
And I think that's what made it harder for me, because it was something I could control. Like, I could control my work ethic every single day. I could control what I'm doing when I go home, what I'm eating. Am I hydrating? Am I stretching? Am I taking care of myself? But I couldn't control who was placing me out on the field.
Yeah.
And to not have that control when you're doing literally everything possible to put yourself in a good position, that's when it's hard.
Yeah.
But I had loads of people in my corner. I had a lot of support from my friends and my family and my husband, obviously. And, everybody just kept telling me there's a bigger story here. Just power through, be proud that you're there. And I did. And I was super happy for my teammates, and, happy for Megan, who, put the team on her back, and for several other players. Yeah. It was great to see, and I'm, happy that I could still have been a part of it.
So why not just say, know all of this yourself? Why are you so willing to actually say it out loud that, this sucked?
Because I don't mind being vulnerable and honest about my journey. I was honest in my book about my journey. I've been honest in interviews. This journey is a roller coaster. Life is a roller coaster. True. With family, with friends, with your significant other, nothing is ever just easy. If one thing's going well, you're going to have two other things that are, pretty crap in your life.
And those people that look perfect, they are so not perfect.
Exactly. They're probably secretly eating donuts
every day.
But yeah, I mean, that's, everything was great in my life. For the, not for the first time, but, my husband and I bought a house, and we were redoing it, and we just got married, and, we have a great relationship, and, everything was just so at ease in my life. And then my entire life, soccer, was a mess. And so it was really hard. It was hard to deal with it, but it taught me a lot. It made me stronger. It made me dig way deeper. And I remember right before the World Cup, it was probably 4 months out, and James and I were training, and he said, it's time to flip the switch. It's time to go up 10 more levels, and you put your foot down on that pedal, and you don't stop until you come home. And that is when all those goals were coming.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that coincided with all the goals.
Yeah. So it's...
Because you looked sharper. I remember before that World Cup commentating on games and going, Carli's runs are sharp, her movement's sharp. She looks like she's got a bounce in her step that I hadn't seen. And it just looked, I had seen, of course, but like after, I think a part of it too is after World Cups and Olympics, people are tired, right?
Yeah.
So you need a good year. Like this next 2 years are going to be hard because it's a grind. But there was a freshness to you that the other players didn't have, I felt like, too. And,
and it was...
What were you at then? 36? What are you now? 37, right?
37, yeah. No, yeah, I mean, when I was talking to Megan about this just the other day, I mean, we have to work so hard off the field to earn a living, to put money stashed away for retirement. So after 2016, I mean, my whole life got turned upside down. Yeah. And Megan said to me the other day, she said, man, every time I go do an appearance, I'm thinking of you. Like, I don't know how you did it. Wow. And so it was hard. It was a grind.
And you have a finite window.
Exactly. Take it full advantage. I'm balancing so many different things. I remember, World Cup 2015 ended in July. By November, I had been booked solid all the way up until then, playing in the NWSL. And I remember just having a breakdown. I was like, I can't go anywhere anymore. I can't talk about this anymore. And it was hard. And 2016, obviously a tough Olympics, just for our team in general. But yeah, I mean, that whole thing was, again, just reinventing myself and trying to become a better player. And I had to be so uncomfortable, and I had to be terrible at training. And then I had to learn a new position up top. We spent hours upon hours working on runs, how to make runs every day with the dummies lined up. James's son would be, sending me balls in. James would be passing balls in. And then, at the perfect time, like it always does, the way that I train, the way that I rev things up, I actually train, really, really hard up until a major event. Where maybe other people do the opposite. They taper off. I actually train twice as harder. And then, boom, the switch goes off and I'm ready to be flying.
Are you going to do that for this Olympics as well?
Depends on the coach. I mean, I hope a coach comes in that values me, respects me, wants me a part of the Olympic plans. I mean, there's no question that my ability's there. I'm able to do it. Physically, I'm able to do it. I would love to be a part of it. But I want to have an open, honest conversation, because if I'm not, I can't go through what I went through for 3 years.
Right.
So,
and by being a part of it, you want to play.
I want to play.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so you don't think you would do another Olympics if you're coming off the bench?
No, because I honestly believe that I deserve to be out there and I'm good enough to be out there. Again, different story if it's like, coach comes in and says, hey, you're old, you're good for, 20, 30 minutes. You cool with that? Yeah, maybe I'd be like, all right, yeah. But the way that I feel and the way that I feel I'm playing, I definitely can have an impact. So we'll see.
Have you always had this mindset? Where did this mindset come from? How do you recreate that in every person? This I want to get better. I want to be better at this. I want to be better at this. Where this growth mindset? Do you remember the first day of going? I'm pretty driven.
I think I've always had this in me. I've always had it, but I just needed someone to navigate me through the right way of doing it. And the right way of doing it has been never cutting a corner. I think people want a quick fix. It's like a diet, for example. People are like, all right, what diet's going to help me lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks? Well, if you just eat well for, a whole year, you'll gradually, lose that weight. It may not be all at once, but it'll happen. And I think I've taken the long-term approach with my career. I've done everything literally possible. There's not probably one thing that I could have done different that would change things. And I've just taken that approach of wanting to just do everything right, my recovery right, my sleep right, my eating, my stretching, my hydrating, everything. And that's why I'm still able to play. That's why I've, the goals after age 30. I mean, I've spent, I can't tell you how many hours practicing shooting, and again, that doesn't just happen. It's if I'm not scoring those goals with all the training that I did, then there's something wrong with me.
Yeah. If that new coach did say to you, Carli, I've seen you, I love you, you've had a wonderful career, you're going to be coming off the bench. You're going to be, giving 20 minutes, similar to what your role was in France. Would you say, I'm good?
I think it's tough to answer that because I think it's in the delivery. It's in the message. It's in the human to relate that message to you and how it's related. It's about being honest, and I think it's too hard for me to answer that right now because I don't know, maybe in 6-7 months I do feel differently or, maybe things do change. I mean, I know that I'm not really thinking that way. I'm thinking of just keep getting better. Yeah. That's all I want to do. Keep getting better. And, it'd be something I'd probably have to think through and go from there. But, it's not one of these things where, I want to be a selfish player and whatnot. no, I just know that my ability and the intangibles that I bring, like Abby when she played, or Mia, there's something about them. Teams are worried about them. And so there's a lot of things that I bring to the table that are still valuable in my opinion. And so, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm in the one day at a time approach right now. I think that's these last couple of years has taught me that, to just kind of live in that present moment. And that's helped me.
When you are done, what do you channel all this drive into? Where's that going?
I don't know.
Cause I want to invest in it.
I don't know. It's just, it's in my blood just to, whatever I'm doing, whether it's just the business side of thing with my clinics or, just being at home, I'm always just trying to be better. And I think
Have you found a niche that really interests you that you think, I could do this after I'm done?
I think definitely clinics. I enjoy that. I enjoy,
coaching?
Yeah, but just like kind of one day, you get the kids for a couple hours and,
would you ever want to get into it? Like into coaching?
I'm not so sure. It's a little
Do
tough.
you have your license at all?
I don't. No.
You start with a C, don't we?
Yeah. I was hoping I could just jump up a little bit more now.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, I enjoy speaking. I enjoy empowering people. I really do. I like getting my message out, my story out, because it hasn't been easy, and it's okay that it hasn't been easy. And it's okay to let people know that life is a journey and life is not easy. And if you want to be great at something, you have to pour your heart and soul into it. And there's no other equation. So I do really like helping people.
All right. So, Carli, our last 3 segments, one is a Lynn game, and then we do most pressing questions, and then we'll tell you the last segment.
Okay.
Lynn, are you ready for us? This is me getting my competitive juices out.
Oh, so we're actually like playing a competitive game.
Oh yeah. So, Carli, you think you're competitive? Okay. You get the blue squeaky.
When you played, who was the most competitive? Who were top 3?
It's a good question. Mia, myself.
Lil, no.
Yeah, probably like Lil, Joy, Carla.
Oh,
Shit,
really?
that's 5. I'm just kidding. 5.
Brandy, no.
Brandy, yes, but like Carla, like she wasn't afraid to tell you either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, Foudy!
I wish I got to play with you guys a bit more.
I know.
I probably would have been like
just the start of your career.
It just would have been. It would have been cool. That's like one thing I wish that I was able to do.
Aww.
Yeah, maybe like pushed it 5 years back a little bit.
because you were just like a little pup.
Yeah,
That was 2003.
pain in the butt pup.
No, I don't remember that. Oh, we're doing it. Choose your weapon.
Yes,
Choose your
Carli.
squeaky toy. You have donut, elephant, blue fuzzy dog.
I'll do the elephant.
Oh, that's the loudest one. Good decision. And the fastest.
You guys can choose. Do you want to
I'm
play
going the donut.
Know Your National Team or Oh Captain, My Captain?
Oh. You choose, Carli.
Let's do no. What is it? No.
Know Your
Yeah.
National Team.
Yeah, that's fun. Ooh.
You have to squeak in with the answer. That's the one rule.
Oh, in
Okay.
order to.
And
Yeah.
the other, what was the Julie Ertz amendment? Was...
I don't think we're running out of time for all the amendments we have for
True.
this game.
Okay. Ready. Good point. Move.
Name the 2 U.S. Women's National Team players who have more than 300 caps. I think Julie got that.
What?
I think you got the echo from the bathroom.
Christy Lily. I think that echoed off the toilet. And Christy Pierce Rampone.
How many were you at?
274-ish. I think they keep finding them. With us old bags, they're like, oh, you got 2 more caps. We just found.
Wait, Lil's got how many? 3?
354.
She's wild.
I'm going to let you guys self-regulate. Who squeaked in
Julie's
first.
1. Carli, 0.
What current member of the national team has the most caps?
Moi.
Yay! You're almost at 300.
It must be in the 280 range, right? I don't know.
I do not have that in my notes. Who has the most
1-1.
assists?
Of this year?
No, you can't finish. That was the one rule we didn't say.
Kristen Press.
We can't. Is that right or wrong? Tell her if it's right or wrong.
The Julie Ertz amendment was that if someone squeaks in, you have to stop the question.
Okay,
in
but
the
I
middle
said
of
press.
it. That is incorrect.
Okay, finish the question.
You squeaked in too.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Of any national team player all time, who has the most assists?
Oh.
Christine
all
Lilly.
time.
Incorrect.
Oh, wait. Then you guess again.
It's someone unexpected.
Oh, wait. U.S. national team member.
All of them are U.S. national team questions.
Of all time.
Most assists of any U.S. women's national team player.
Oh, come on.
Like Milbrit or something?
No. Let me guess.
Well, you should know this. It's probably someone that you played with.
You
I
did
know.
play with.
I
with
know.
This.
I've played with this person. Mia Hamm.
Correct.
Oh, I was going to say Mia.
145.
I thought Lil was over her. Wow.
According to Wikipedia, that's
Wikipedia
a reliable source.
is your source. Have you learned nothing from journalism?
I know. Don't tell Northwestern that I said that.
Yeah.
How many Olympic gold medals has the national team won?
Oh.
You know this. I feel confident about this. You squeaked in.
No, is it 4?
It's 4.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
What's the count?
2-2. This is the game winner.
This is a good one,
I'm sweating.
too. How many goals did Julie Foudy score in her career? Was it 25, 35, 45, or 55?
45.
I was going to say 55, you know?
45.
Thank you, though, Carly. You might win because of that. I'll take 55. Carly wins. I didn't get to even 50. See, I wasn't kidding.
How many
What are
did
you
you
at?
goals?
100 and... Carly, you don't know your caps or your goals.
No. It's not
James
my job.
would not be happy.
Just tunnel vision just
I like that,
I don't know,
actually.
maybe-
it's
maybe
good.
close
I always
to-
tell kids, like, focus less on numbers and just get it done. Get her done. Mm-hmm. Okay, most pressing questions.
Are you like loving your post soccer life? You
Yes.
loving the broadcasting and everything?
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
so
cool.
fun. We actually
You're
love
like
this.
perfect for it.
She forced me to do it.
Oh, you did?
Len did. And then we found like, oh my God, this is so fun because you actually get to talk to people. Like, could we have
Yeah.
had that conversation in a 3-minute piece?
No.
No. You can't like dive into the details of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so much better. We're like, oh, it's actually fun. And you can laugh and it's fun. And
I agree.
there's not a camera. You don't have to worry about makeup. It's like, I can wear a hat. I don't have to
know.
shower.
So true.
Oh, we have to get going. I have a production meeting. Sorry.
What time's it at?
6. He'll be fine. I'll text him and
Oh.
say, Carly would not shut up. I could not stop
Who
her.
is it? Ian tomorrow? Or no?
Yeah, Darky.
Oh,
He's flying in
great.
from England. Yay. I was like, yay. Oh, this is perfect. We're going to most pressing questions. Are you ready, Carly?
Okay.
What is your favorite stat record that you hold since you know none of them? That we now have just established. You don't know how many caps you have. You know how many goals you scored. I love that.
That's not my job. 2-time World Cup champion. Oh. Stellar.
Boom. Add those stars. Okay. We used to play this game while watching other Olympic sports at the Olympics. And knowing how competitive you are, if you could not play soccer in the Olympics, you could play any other sport. What would you play?
Winter? Could it be winter too? I do skiing.
Would you?
Yeah. I skied my whole life. Love skiing.
We'll talk to Michaela about that. You post a lot. I would do beach volleyball. Thanks for asking.
That would be fun. Because you like the outfits or?
Because I look really good in a bathing suit. I look really good in a thong. That's something you never want to see, by the way. You know that birthday card with like the woman, old ladies walking in thongs? I'm like, that's me right there. All right, you post a lot of great quotes on social media about like grit and mindset and all these things we've talked about. Favorite quote that you go to in your moments when you need it?
Favorite quote? There's too many to choose from. I don't know. My whole motto is just empty the tank. It's kind of been something James just stuck with me. Empty the tank. Whatever you got in there, just empty it. Every day.
And then go fill it.
Yeah.
You also need to fill it. Okay. High-low cheer, something I do around the dinner table with my kids. Their high of the day, their low of the day, and then something they cheer for or someone they cheer about. Someone that's done something great. And this we do for my kids is during East for the Day. This for you is of your life or of your career.
So I'm doing it. You guys doing it now?
You are.
High of the day.
Of your career.
Oh, of the career. Of my
Of
career.
your life. Career you choose.
My journey. Just everything. I can't pick one thing. I think the high is just the good and the bad. Encompasses the whole journey for me. The low. That's a tough one.
We like to, stump people.
Low. I don't know. To look at the lows, it's like I always try to find the good in the lows. So, the low, I guess, currently was, obviously this last couple of years for me, for my career. But I know that there's a bigger picture there, and I just got to keep just plugging away every day. But yeah, that was a low. But then it ended on a high of winning. So,
And your cheer.
My cheer. And what is this? Just for
someone that has helped you or you're grateful for?
I think I have to say my husband, Brian. He's been a rock all throughout it. Even at my worst, at my lows, he's been right by my side, just, trying to stay positive with everything. And yeah, he balances me out. I've learned a lot from him in these last couple of years of just kind of staying in that moment. So grateful for him for sure.
We're grateful for you for taking the time, my friend.
Oh, thank you. I had a great time with you guys.
You've got so much on your plate, so.
Great time.
Clap for Carli! Will she eat a donut before she goes? For the record, Carli did have that donut. Yes, Carli. Super proud of you, sister. I know that was hard, but she did enjoy it. And I so enjoyed getting that time with Carli because Carli is so deep. And we had talked a lot during the World Cup on what some of her statements would mean, and every reporter I remember would come up to me during the World Cup and say, Carli's saying out loud that she should be playing. Is that an issue? And I was like, not really, because everyone knows that's the way Carli is, right? And it's not done in a negative way. It's not done in a, I'm better than you type of way. It's just that she believes that she can contribute something. And I think you get that sense when you talk to her, right? And that's why I think it's important for people to hear from her and where she comes from and how much, geez, like she has dedicated her life, and especially this last 10 years, to being the best in the world.
The thing is, too, with Carli, if you ask her an honest question, she will give you an honest response.
Yeah. I thought it fascinating, too, that she didn't know her caps and goals. It's so cool, actually. It's like, you don't know those. Okay, I like that.
On that note, Jules, I actually found out how many caps and goals Carli has.
Look at you, capital J journalist.
I had to make up for using Wikipedia as a source during the game we played with Carli. So according to Aaron Heifetz, who is the press officer for the U.S. Women's National Team, Carli currently has 286 caps, that's third all time on the team, and 118 goals, that's fourth all time.
Wow. She's climbing. She is climbing. And that's at 37, by the way. Incredible. Can't wait to see what she does with this Olympics. But if I were a betting woman, which I'm not, I don't like to bet. But if you are a betting person, put your money on Carli Lloyd for the Olympics. She'll be there. She's not going to miss this one. She is always good for a great goal, too. So she's going to be a part of it. That's what I would guess. All right. As always, thank you to our Dope Village for listening. Please give us your comments, share them on social media, spread the good word to friends, family members, and complete strangers about this podcast, if you would. And next up on Wednesday, we have Julie Ertz and Crystal Dunn, BFFs, very cute, Sam Mewis, and Rose Lavelle are on Thursday. And we finish our World Cup Champs Week on the pot with Jill Ellis, former U.S. Women's National Team coach. All right. Always remember, kids, sing it with us. Laughter permitted.
Double check this.